You go in for a firm handshake. The other person commits to a fist bump, and suddenly your hands are frozen in a confusing collision. This specific discomfort now saturates our shared experiences, fueling a cultural obsession with the feeling of social failure. To see the scale of this obsession, look at Nielsen's 2021 ratings. The most streamed content in the United States was The Office, with audiences spending over 57 billion minutes watching a boss make his employees squirm. Pervasive awkwardness has become a lucrative feature of contemporary culture, generating massive engagement through the depiction of social discomfort. We usually internalize these moments. When a conversation stumbles, we assume it reveals a personal character flaw, a lack of empathy, or a failure to read the room. This pathologizing of a feeling has spawned a cottage industry of self-help books. These strategies are designed to fix awkward individuals, treating a common emotion like a behavior that needs a cure. But awkwardness reaches far beyond the socially anxious. It disrupts the most practiced, high-stakes interactions on the planet. At a global summit, the President of the United States prepared to introduce a critical ally to the stage. His intention was to welcome Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Instead, he introduced him as his Russian adversary, Vladimir Putin. Sociologists argue we are looking at these moments backward. By treating the cringe as a personal disease, we ignore the structural reality that actually creates it. Awkwardness is a symptom of the societal framework itself, appearing when the systems we use to communicate begin to grate against one another. You navigate every day using social scripts. These are the invisible, rehearsed rules that allow you to order a coffee or attend a meeting without having to calculate every single word. The word awkward reflects this breakdown in its own etymology. The suffix "ward" means going in the wrong direction. A social break occurs when an interaction fails to generate the expected emotional outcome. The invisible script shatters, leaving both people without a map for what comes next. The cringe is the visceral feeling of freefall that occurs when the societal script vanishes. Classical sociological models explain that pre-modern life relied on rigid, predictable roles. In these smaller societies, social variables were limited and the rules rarely changed. Modernization dissolved those roles. We now live in a web of dependencies between diverse individuals, where the rules of engagement are constantly being renegotiated. We have entered an era of super diversity. Shifting cultural backgrounds, digital dating apps, and Zoom calls create a world where we are constantly rewriting the rules of interaction on the fly. The math of modern life makes script failure inevitable. As the number of unscripted contexts and social variables increases, the probability of an awkward encounter rises accordingly. Humanity is not losing its social skills. Our daily environment has simply become too complex to script every interaction in advance. Smooth interactions can be deceptive. When social scripts work perfectly, they remain invisible, allowing us to follow the underlying rules of society without ever noticing they exist. Awkwardness has the unique power to defamiliarize the familiar. The sudden breakdown of a script forces us to look at the power dynamics, hidden expectations, and cultural boundaries that we usually take for granted. These moments serve as a real-time stress test. They briefly expose the hidden scaffolding of our culture for us to examine. You can stop trying to cure your awkwardness or treat it as a personal failure that needs a solution. That discomfort is simply the friction of a complex society trying to figure out its next line together. Stop fighting the feeling. Embrace the cringe.